Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how these absolutely stunning digital worlds are born. We'll get into everything from the super meticulous, rule-based craft of digital artists, all the way to the revolutionary creative power of AI. But let's just start with the question. Take a look at this incredibly intricate fiber optic lamp. Now, this wasn't photographed. It was created 100% inside a computer. So how in the world do you even begin to build something with this much detail, this much complexity, from scratch? And that question right there brings us perfectly into our first section. We're going to break down the how-to behind these complex digital objects, and we'll look at the professional techniques that actually make them possible. So how do they do it? Well, the secret isn't what you might think. No one is sitting there drawing 1,000 individual strands by hand. No way. Instead, an artist designs one single perfect strand and then gives the computer a set of rules to generate and arrange thousands of copies automatically.
And this slide really breaks down that whole logical process. If you're using professional software like Blender, artists use this really powerful system called geometry nodes. Think of it like a visual programming language just for 3D art. They define a single curve, they multiply it, they add some randomness to make it look natural, then they shape the whole thing. And finally, they add the materials and lighting. It's a system of rules, not just tedious manual work.
Now, this method actually has a name. It's called procedural generation. It really is like giving the computer a recipe instead of a finished meal. And the incredible advantage here is that you can change just one tiny ingredient in that recipe. Let's say the length of the strands or the amount of randomness, and the entire complex model updates instantly. It's incredibly powerful. But what if you could skip writing the recipe? What if you could just describe the meal you want? Well, that's the revolutionary shift we're seeing with AI generation. It's building a whole new way of creating. In this slide, it shows the core difference perfectly. The procedural method, that's command-based. You have to give the computer very explicit step-by-step instructions. But with AI image generation, the method is description-based. You just describe the image you want in plain English. The skill required is completely transformed. It's less about technical execution and way more about descriptive articulation. As Amazon's AI team puts it, your words literally become the paintbrush. And hey, just like any art form, there are techniques you have to master. Effective prompting isn't about writing one perfect sentence right off the bat. It's a process. You start with a simple idea, then you add more specific details, maybe you describe the style you're going for, and you just build on it step by step. So with these powerful new tools, both the procedural ones and the AI-driven ones, what kind of worlds are people actually inspired to create? Well, a lot of the time the answer comes from the culture of the digital youth. A really fascinating new aesthetic is emerging from this culture, and it's being called digital fairyland. It's inspired by video game heroines and this deep fascination with technology. And it creates these hybrid forms where digital and natural elements blend together in really surprising ways. You can see it so clearly in fashion. The patterns on these clothes look like digital textures, almost like glitch art or data visualizations. The styles themselves look like they're straight out of a video game, using futuristic materials to create something that feels both super high-tech and weirdly organic at the same time. And this theme, it extends everywhere, from accessories all the way to makeup. It's a style that combines an almost alien approach to beauty, like these decorated teeth, with very organic forms, like the flowers that look like they're emerging from clay. It's all about mixing the strange with the familiar. And this quote from the design firm Proma Style really just captures the whole essence of it. It's a vision that perfectly reflects a generation that is completely comfortable blending their digital and physical lives into one seamless and, sometimes wonderfully strange reality. So whether you've built your world with code or you've described it with words, there's one final, absolutely crucial element that brings it all to life: light. And it really comes down to this: light and color. These are the timeless principles of art that apply to every single digital creation. This is how you create mood, emotion, depth, and realism. Visual effects artists use color theory to evoke specific feelings. As you can see on this color wheel, cool tones like blues and cyans can make a scene feel futuristic or even clinical. On the other hand, warm tones like reds and oranges create a sense of comfort and familiarity. This slide gives a few great examples of how different colors can be used to create a really specific mood. And artists have a whole toolbox of techniques to play with light. There's color grading, which sets the overall mood. You've got bloom, which adds that soft, dreamy glow to light sources. Volumetric lighting creates those dramatic God rays you see shining through fog. And then there's ray tracing, which creates unbelievably realistic lighting by simulating how light actually bounces around in the real world. From the mathematical precision of code to the poetry of a prompt, the tools we use to create are evolving at an incredible pace. It pushes our visions into bolder and bolder territory, and it leaves us with a really fascinating question. As our tools become partners in creation, where does the creator end and the creation begin?